those responsible will be brought to justice.
The Red Fort blast is becoming clearer by the day, and the clues are pointing to a far more volatile mix than what investigators first imagined. While the final reports are not out yet, sources say the explosive used in Monday's car blast may have included TATP, triacetone triperoxide, one of the most unstable, high-risk chemical explosives in the world. A bomb that, by estimate, could have weighed 40 to 50 kilograms, made with 2 to 3 kilos of ammonium nitrate, fuel oil and other chemicals. CCTV footage shows Dr. Umar, who died in the explosion, placing a large bag on the rear seat of his I-20. The bag occupied half the back seat. Investigators now believe that that very bag held the IED. The impact was so powerful, officers say it was felt 50 meters underground. Body parts scattered across a 50-meter radius. And if the forensic analysis by the NSG confirms TATP, it could explain why the blast did not require a detonator. Even minor heat or friction can set it off. It's a chemical that is so unstable that handling it in any quantity is risky. Sources say Umar, an experienced IED assembler, knew this. That may be why he drove the car into a crowded area. Even a small trigger could have set the device off. Police are now leaning towards an accidental explosion, a theory that has grown stronger after a similar incident at Norgam police station in Srinagar on Friday. An officer confirmed there were no ball bearings or metal pellets at the site. But with car bombs, sometimes the vehicle itself becomes the shrapnel. Forensic teams explain the science behind it. Ammonium nitrate, a powerful oxidizer, hydrogen peroxide, another oxidizer, mix them with fuel and you get a hybrid explosive with enormous energy and extreme instability. The precursor chemicals acetone and hydrogen peroxide are common household goods that are easy to buy. That's what makes TATP so notorious. Dr. Dinesh Rao is a forensic expert, professor and head of forensic medicine toxicology at AIMS Jammu, and ex-director of chief forensic pathologist in Jamaica. Dr. Rao, thanks for your time. Forensics are still trying to piece together the blast at the Red Fort in Delhi, but triacetone, triperoxide or TATP is the new term that has popped up. What do you know or can tell us about this component?
Yes, see, these are all highly oxidizing agents and highly unstable compounds, So especially when they are mixed with ammonium nitrate and with club with so-called oils, fuel oil, and this gives such an, the oxidizing power. It's been more or less like a drug synergistic act. Means it increases, it advances the action. Even a minor friction or a minor heat causing substance or a primer substance or any detonating substance can lead to such an impact, that is the amount of pressure per square inch. We say it is nearly around 16,000 to 30,000 pressure per square inch, that pounds per square inch. This is the amount of pressure being generated. So that is what we see with the shock waves, That is the reason, as you rightly pointed out earlier, that ball bearings or any metal pieces was not used. And that is not very important in such type of explosive components. Because once this type of components have been pushed in any metal container like that, a car or even in the dicky or any place, that means the metal frame of the car itself as a resistant objects, and the more the resistance, the greater the impact. That's what has happened in this case. And another very peculiar thing, what we saw in the Delhi blast is, you might have seen that vehicles nearly 30-40 meters away from the epicenter of the blast, and they have caught fire. It is because the fuel oil and including this acetone and hydrogen peroxide with the ammonium nitrate, they have been just dispersed, and that is the reason the distant areas also it has engulfed in the fire. Fire. Besides, the shock waves which has been created because of the high pressure, which has been created because of the flame and the expansive forces of the gases, and that has resulted in extensive damage. That is the reason we see mutilated remains, and they've been thrown to a distance nearly around 150 meters. The parts of the bodies were found, and that is the danger which is involved in this type of mixture of chemicals.
Dr. Rao, what could have enticed the suspects to use oxidizers, like you mentioned there, such as ammonium nitrate and hydrogen peroxide, which was the same components found in the accidental Norgam police station blast? What's the science behind those, briefly?
See what happens, with ammonium nitrate per se, it is not an explosive. It has to have a detonating substance or a primer substance or any heat-causing substance to ignite the ammonium nitrate. Whereas if the ammonium nitrate plus a fuel has been mixed, that the so-called the firing capacity, that increases. But with this particular mixture, if more oxidizing agents like hydrogen peroxide or acetone has been added, so that combustive force, the expansive forces of the gases, that will be multiplied, and I can tell you it is 10 to 50 times multiplication with ammonium nitrate per se. So this is the amount of impact. That means it multiplies the combustion capacity, at the same time the expansive forces of the gases and the pressure of the gases which has been created because of fraction of a second it ignites. So this is what is the dangerous part of this oxidizing and highly unstable compounds. And that is what these people who have been used this particular explosive, they might be aware of all these things. That is the reason they have used such components which has led to such disastrous explosion.
All right, Mr. Rao, thank you very much for your time and for talking to us today.
Thank you. Yeah.